Hi friends. Oh man, I am so sick. I'm very sick. You can probably tell by how I am sounding right now in your ears, for which I apologize profusely. If you're wondering why I look like a peach fairy princess right now, it is because we are revisiting some old friends. It is time for a new chapter in our series, Get the Most Out of Your Palette. This one is going to be very peach scented. And before my voice completely gives out on me, let's get started. I'm so sick. This is my last day off and so I have to film. I was racking my brain as to what to film and I just figured I'd dive right back into a Get the Most Out of Your Palette series. We could start a new chapter. I feel like while I'm thinking about new content or I'm waiting for things to come to the mail, this is a good way to kill some time. And I really didn't want to tackle Jaclyn Hill, so we're doing this instead because it's sweet, it's shiny, it's fresh. While I'm feeling this shitty inside, I just want to look fresh and dewy and summery on the outside. I've already prepped and primed and done some foundation. Before we get into the palette, we're going to focus on really dewy skin for this look. Keep ourselves feeling plump and fresh. I'm going to throw on some of this NYX #ThisIsEverything lip oil just to combat those dry, crusty, I'm sick, cold lips. I love the NYX This Is Everything lip oil. It's so nice. I use it at night. It's extremely conditioning and it's really affordable. I'm just going to stay really focused on dewy skin, so I'm not going to powder as much today, and I'm going to keep to a lot of cream products on the face. I'm going to go in with the Milk Makeup Matte Bronzer Stick and actually just take some of that on my finger. This is in the shade Blaze, and instead of using a beauty sponge or anything, I think I'm just going to tap this into the skin onto the foundation that hasn't been set yet. I learned this technique from Pompberry, who, if you don't know who she is, I will definitely link her channel somewhere around here. She's been really skin focused lately as well, and she's done a really good job on her channel teaching people how to make their skin look like skin. Her content is always really fresh, so. And I feel like James Charles has ruined the word fresh for me forever. I don't know what it is about using your fingers to blend products in when you're working mostly with cream products. There's something about it that really gives your skin that extra life, and it just sort of melts all the products together. You might have something to do with the heat of your body, and you do have like full control over your own digits, right? So Dayquil, just do your job for once. So we're going to conceal a tiny little bit, instant age rewind. We're going to have to set this part, unfortunately. There's just no way around that. We'll try and do it really sparingly. Just concealing a little bit up here. Really go for it under the eyes. You're already looking less like we're on the brink of death. I'm going to take a blend of powders. Maybelline Fit Me in the shade 10 Fair Light, which is too dark for me, so I take a little bit of Van Nye Super White just to combat that. We mix the two together and we get something really pretty. I'm gonna let that sit for a little bit before I powder because I haven't used this on my channel yet, and I explicitly bought it to use on my channel, but I used it a couple times and I just kind of went eh. But I figured since we're going really dewy and creamy with the skin today, maybe we should try using a bit of a cream blush. I'm going to bust out my Kaja Cheeky stamp, which is in the shade 02 Saucy, and it comes with this little stamp which I initially thought was adorable, and I, upon further investigation, realized I hated it very much. So I'm just going to take my finger into this little sponge full of product, try and tap a little bit of it into the skin and see if I can get better results. I felt like the sponge was making it really hard not to get patchy, because when I would do the little stamp and go boop boop, I would then try and blend the rest out with my finger and it would just end up patching off and looking really blotchy. Taking that onto the brow bone and right under the eye as well. That's doing better, way better than the last time. It's actually really gorgeous. It does have a little bit, like just a hint of sparkle somewhere in that formula. And taking a little bit onto the chin. Yes, loving this way more than before. It's letting me build up the product quite nicely. The nice thing about cream products is that not everything is set in stone. You have time to play and fix on a very small brush. Just tap in to that mixture of powders I created earlier, making sure to tap out any creases under the eye, and then just going in and setting very lightly those very specific areas, like around the nose, just under the eye. Alright, I think I'm gonna leave everything else for now to just chill for a sec. I'm gonna throw on some brows and I will be right back. Brows are on. I just wanted to throw on some brow gel, and I have a new one that I should show to you on camera. It's the Milk Kush brow gel in the shade Grind, which is a little darker than what I'm used to, but I've been liking it so far. Just thought I'd pop this on while the camera was rolling so you could see how it works. The Benefit Gimme Brow is definitely a softer gel. Doesn't quite have the same hold as this one does, which I like. It means I don't have to go in again with another brow gel on top of it just to set everything. There's some pretty serious depth and floof to these brows, which I like. Let's play with some eyeshadow, which is why we are here. For this chapter of Get the Most Out of Your Palette, I really wanted to utilize both at the same time, just because I feel like these two were meant to sort of work in tandem. I felt like this was kind of an addition or an add-on to the original Sweet Peach palette. That's just my opinion. Plus, I feel like doing an entire series on just a matte palette would be incredibly boring. As you can see, there are a ton of really good warm-toned matte shadows ranging from very light to very deep. So I think we're gonna work a lot with this one today. Big fluffy blending brush right into Peach Punch. And I just wanna start working this into the outer corner, like so. And we're using tapping motions just so we're not swiping and skipping all over the skin. I'm gonna start trying to blend that farther and farther out. Taking a smaller blending brush, and I'm gonna tap into the same shade under the eye. Really going blown out with this and far down the cheek. I really like how this is blending with the blush. I really just want this whole look to be a nice seamless blend of pinks and peaches. Taking it even further down. Taking the same shade and starting to pack that into that brow area and softly blending out the edges. I really like where this is going, kind of like a sad clown, which is kind of how I feel at the moment. So let's throw a little of this into the corners of the mouth, under the lip, on the Cupid's bow as well. I want to do a bit of shimmer onto the lid and the inner third. This one bit the dust, and so RIP. But I think as far as shimmer goes, I think today we're gonna dive into just Peachy. It's this one right here. And it's got a pink and gold shift to it. I think I'm just gonna take this onto my finger. I mean, she's cute. I always wanted more out of this shadow though. I mean, it is there. It's there. Like, why this palette doesn't have just like another super bright, super peachy pink highlight shade is beyond me. You know, I bet this shade would actually look really stunning on a deeper skin tone. The gold would probably pop way more than on my pasty ass face. I'm gonna bring that lower here onto the lower inner third, reinforcing Peach Punch a little bit. Okay, to make this pop a little bit, just a teeny bit more, I think I'm gonna actually jump into just a hint of Peach Sangria, which is this dark red shade. I'm not gonna take a lot of it. Graze it onto the lash line a little bit. Yes, yes, love that. Good. I'm just popping Sangria on the lower lash line as well, just to deepen things up even a little bit more. And I'm gonna take the tiniest bit and just boop, boop, boop. Then wiping all of the excess off, blending more. I understand that this look is not for everyone. That's okay. Let's take a small brush, dipping into the only highlight shade in either palette, which is called Peaches and Cream right here. And we're gonna pop that into the inner corner and pop it onto brow bone. It's really funny how I choose the day I'm sick and can't smell anything to use the peach palettes that smell so nice. I'm really liking where this is going so far. The shadows are performing quite well, even on top of cream and an unset base. I'm going to pop on some lashes off camera and we'll be back to finish the rest of the look. I threw on some Rouge and Rogue lashes in the style Lady Killer. I'm gonna keep the lips really simple. First, start off with patting a little bit of the Ultra Satin Lip from Colourpop and Kathleen Lights in the shade Dreamy. Lastly, I think I'm just going to top it off with a little Fenty Gloss Bomb. And because I am absolutely ready to get back into my PJs, this is the completed look. I really like where this went. It went in a really nice, fun, flirty, ethereal direction, very fairy-like. I love the skin. I think my skin looks really good. I didn't even have to put on a highlighter today because look at that. This was a really fun way to start off the Sweet Peach chapter of our series. I am really looking forward to diving deeper into these shades, maybe doing something a bit more neutral, but we're going to explore it all. We are going to get into the nitty-gritty and we are going to figure out what the hell you can do with these palettes. Too Faced still sells these palettes. They still produce them, they still put them out. So this is almost like trying to figure out whether or not these palettes were worth all the hype that they received, you know, nearly 2 years ago now. I've kind of noticed a pattern in revisiting old palettes that received so much hype and now sort of revisiting them a couple years later almost don't quite stand up to today's standards of what a release should look like, since the market is so oversaturated nowadays and there's, you know, a new palette coming out every 5 seconds. The standards have gotten supremely high, and I think that has definitely changed the way we look at products and the way we evaluate them now. So it's really interesting to go back and sort of take them at face value for what they are without all the hype. I'm finding this series more and more fascinating the deeper we dive. I am going to consume more liquids. I'm going to cross my fingers that this cold gets the fuck out of here before I have to go back to work tomorrow. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this first chapter in the Sweet Peach series. I hope you enjoy this very avant-garde, airy fairy look. I'm really digging it right now. Comment down below what you think of this look. Comment down below what you want to see from the peach palettes yourself. What shadows are you looking to see utilized more? And if you like me, if you like this channel, if you like this series, give this video a little thumbs up. It helps me out a great deal. And if you are not already and you are lurking, hit the subscribe button. Just do it. You can always hit me up on other social media. I'm pretty active on Instagram, which is at Madelaide, the same way it is spelled here. I'm less active on Twitter, but I do update it every now and then, and that is at MadSuds, which is MADDSUDZ. I'm gonna take this honey lemon ginger thing that I've concocted and I'm going to go sit on the couch for the 3rd day in a row. Please be kind and be generous to everyone you meet out there in the world today, and hopefully I will see you on the next one. Bye guys.